Okay, hello everyone. I'm doing like an off-the-cuff like commentary over the video for Bakugo versus Vegeta by Rustage. This is probably one of the most difficult ones I've done because I kind of left editing to the last week. Literally just handed in the battle like about 1 or 2 hours before it was supposed to go up because that's only when I finished it. I've only finished it like last night actually, so it was really a rush job. This is gonna be mostly off the cuff. I'm gonna like go through like some of the edits and just like comment on them. So yeah, the intro graphic. So like the logo, I'd say it's one of my more simpler ones. It's a Dragon Ball logo made to fit the like the angles of the My Hero logo. Plus the Japanese and the stuff on the top is katakana for rapid batteru. Google Translate is just really handy for this kind of stuff. Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I just want to say I kind of wish I had more time. I let myself have more time to edit this because I literally edited this in about 8 days starting on last weekend. Well, technically I started preparing it before that, like going for clips, but I only formally started like putting clips together on a Saturday last week. Really a shame because the song is so good. Because it's by far my favorite in terms of sound. Like, I just wish I had like did a better video for it. I took a lot of shortcuts.
I'm up against this troll dog.
This was on the fucking troll doll line. Troll doll line was one of the first edits I did. It's a really simple edit. I just took apart his body, just moved it downwards. Like, I took his torso and just pushed it down and made his head just a bit bigger. It's really fun. It's really funny.
Not like Goku, there won't be no round two. Come on, dude.
I think this, I'm happy with how the shot turned out because I wanted them interacting. For the, I do little storyboardings for what I want the video to look like for each line, just very loose ones. And I wrote down for this one, I just want him to explode Vegeta, well, specifically his head, but I couldn't find any good shots for this, so I had to compromise and just do this, which looks pretty decent. I could have done a little bit of like blending in with the fingers and the explosion, just like a little bit of feathering just in the explosion just over the fingertips, but the Dragon Ball footage is really, I'll just go on a tangent off the Dragon Ball footage because I really hate working with 4x3 video like anime footage. When it comes to masking, it's for some reason the frames, you can all see them jitter around because they won't, like in modern anime, the characters are very clean. They just stay still. Old animation was like animated using like physically drawn cells and shot with the camera, so seeing the frames jitter around, it's just like reminds you that that's how it was done back then. It's really hard to work with. Usually I just mask one for like lip syncing purposes. I just edit like take one frame and then just take the mouth on its own. But for Dragon Ball footage, I found out that the line art just kind of jitters around like really tiny distances. It's not too noticeable if you're not going frame by frame, but it's really a nuisance to work with. Also, having to upscale the Dragon Ball footage, it's just not ideal because it kind of makes it hard to frame the characters in relation to each other well. Because if most of the shots of Dragon Ball characters really close up, if you just scale them, I kind of had to fill in some of the background just to maintain those original character proportions. The funny thing about this line, I think it's a funny line, but Bakugo looks way angrier than, like, I have a million shots of him looking way more angrier than Vegeta ever does. Like, craziest Vegeta does is, like, sometimes his veins, like, pop out when he's, like, really pissed off, but it's not that crazy looking. Like, I just think it's very ironic that he just says that you look crazy and then he just makes his face. Yeah. I kind of do this a lot. If you remember Kakashi versus Aizawa, he said something about his line, got a mask, can't face the truth, and then it just showed fucking Aizawa in Eraserhead and bandages. Sometimes I just think visual irony is just funny. I guess it's more funny to me than anyone else. I think it might be a nuisance to the people who actually write these. They'll be like, no, you're undermining my point by showing something that opposes the line visually. I wanted to do since this is a Dragon Ball rap album, I wasn't into Dragon Ball before this. This was my first delve. Actually, I did watch I think I watched some weird Broly movie. like a really old one when I was like young, but I did not know what was happening. I was like, why is there blood in this funny animated movie? Kind of scared me. But yeah, for this I had to prepare by watching Dragon Ball and like editing for Rusted. Just like half of the work for editing for a Rusted Rap Battle is watching anime, like a copious amount of anime. Because I had to watch Naruto, like all of Naruto during my Christmas break, and I ended up liking it, but you know, having to go through all. Well, I skipped all the fillers, so it was more like 400 episodes I had to go through. But that's still 400 episodes. Like, that's still 420-minute episodes I had to go through. Plus a couple movies, yeah. And then Dragon Ball wasn't as bad, because I only had to watch Z. Because Vegeta is not in the original Dragon Ball. They deal with funny King Piccolo shenanigans, apparently. And then Vegeta just appears in Dragon Ball Z. So I just had to watch that. So I finished up to the Cell Saga, which is about 97 episodes. 97? Oh, that's a very specific number. I'll just say around 100 episodes. I'm actually watching the Kid Buu Saga, well, not the Majin Buu Saga right now, because I just want to finish Dragon Ball just for the sake of finishing it. But even though I only watched Dragon Ball on a surface level, I still wanted to add a little bit of like jokes that people in Dragon Ball fandom might appreciate, or like some visual I just wanted to do some visual homages and jokes that I find funny, honestly. Well, actually, it's just really more about what I find funny more than anything, to be honest. So this shot in particular is like, it's the scene where Vegeta is just like absolutely terrified of Frieza, and then King Kai's face just pops up in the middle here, and he just like, this is the first time Vegeta has ever felt scared or something. And then I just did that shot. I replaced King Kai with Bakugo. I mean, the coloring is a bit off because I made it look green instead of like normal colored, but yeah, this section doesn't really have much big edits because I was lazy. Like, when you have to edit something in 8 days, you have to kind of like make some compromises with your editing choices. You don't want to make things too complex for yourself. Like if you watch Aizuken, tell me that using shortcuts is okay, because it's just, if you're trying to make a product, if you have a deadline, you have to learn how to make compromises, because sometimes your vision is just too ambitious and you really need to learn when to hold back in giving yourself too much work. Like this scene was one of the ones I chose to work a lot on, even though it doesn't look like, because there's not much big action going on. It's just a hand, some smoke. Like, if you want a fun boundary break fact, and again, I think Piccolo's foot is over here, but the smoke covers it, because this is just a shot of like Piccolo's foot just jumping out the way, but I just cropped it so you don't see the Piccolo foot. I like the shot. Yeah, I think it's funny because I wish I could like do more edits like this for like entire battles where it's all in one consistent area and then they're just fighting and stuff, but I'd probably need months to be able to like mask out everything and blah blah blah. Like while I was editing, I was watching stuff in the background. If you've seen the Team 4-Star Cell Games videos, they're really well edited. I want to edit like that someday. They're really well made. Yeah. This like I watched Kai, so I didn't even see the Piccolo learns how to drive episode. But I just saw this in my recommendations, like Piccolo learns how to drive, because I was like looking up Dragon Ball videos to just put on in the background while I edit. And then I just saw Piccolo learns how to drive, and I thought that's so funny. And then he was just wearing these stupid clothes out of Goku's wardrobe, and I was like, that's hilarious. And then this line says you don't even have a license, and I know he's talking about the hero license for the exams, which Bakugo failed. The shot on the right of him being angry is originally it was a triple split screen of Todoroki and that other guy that I don't know the name of, but I replaced it with Vegeta. Goddamn Piccolo, because license could mean like driver's license, yeah, but it's not. It doesn't mean driver's license at all. I just thought it was funny. There's a lot of like things only I find funny in here. Maybe someone else finds it funny, but I just mainly put in things no one really points it out, and so like I get to get away with a lot of random stuff. Like there's a lot of I think it's because I was in a manic state, because I felt really stressed while editing this video, because I had 7 days or 8 days to edit this. It just really messed me up. Like I was going crazy just masking for most of the, like I had to balance this with school because quarantine in New Zealand lower down so I can actually go to school, and I have to go to school because I'm gonna get into a good college. I gotta go to a good school. I gotta become a scholar like Gohan. But that really gave me less time to edit because I have a strict sleeping schedule at about 10 p.m. because I gotta be healthy, and so that left me like with literally 7 hours a day to edit a rap battle. And if you're working on something for 7 hours straight, you go a little bit crazy. So sometimes you find the most stupid stuff funny. Like when I was looking through clips for Bakugo, there was this one clip of him just staring at the camera, then walking off, and then continue walking off. I thought it was, I don't know why, but I think it's the funniest. It's so funny. He just walks off the screen and like, I still don't know what's funny about it. I just have a really weird sense of humor because my brain is damaged. I'm probably the only one who finds this funny. He just walks away. And speaking of Dragon Ball homages, this is a funny Yamcha pose. Just wanted. I'm sad that this is only for like, you can see this for barely a second because I think it's really good edit. It just kind of just happens too fast. Goddamn, All Might just throws Deku at Bakugo, just gets slammed down in the ground and he's dead. And then you only see that for a second. I should plan this out more. And I mentioned Azuken earlier, and there's this shot that was all thanks to them, because in like one of their episodes they show like editing techniques for anime, and I was like, they showed this specific technique where they repeat the camera motion of a thing going out, or like multiple times. And I was like, I subconsciously knew that they did that because I watched other anime where they did use that technique, but when they explained it in Azuken, I was like, yep. It may be cutting corners, but it's a good technique. It's a fun technique to use for editing. It's simple, but it's effective. Plus, it works really well with the music because you hear the drums. It goes ba-dum, ba-dum. Yeah, because it just repeats on those drum hits. I just think it's nice. It's just nice rhythm to it. Yeah. You'd think that a line like this wouldn't need much editing, but I still had to technically mask this because I had to make sure she was not speaking. I had to remove some of her mouth frames by photoshopping her lips over her dotted mouth. I just like how he just, I like just how he hits him on the beat. I like this shot. I love the drums in this. Rusted really outdid himself on like the production of, like, musically. This is one of his best. I love the sound of this. I love the sound of the instrumentation. I just love the drums. They go punch them. It's so good. Fun fact: that masking shot, that specific framing shot, is also in the previous line. It's literally this one. These two are the same things. I wanted to make it look like a back shot, so I made it a black shot. That was an awful pun. Thanks, young Teen Trunks. I wonder why he just didn't say Future Trunks. But I'm not going to question it too much. I kind of feel I'm not like that good of an editor because I edit everything in Premiere and just because I want to learn how to use the 3D camera tool in After Effects, but my computer just can't run After Effects. It just makes it too slow. Because if I did this with like a 3D camera in After Effects, it would look. If this wasn't like 4:3 ratio, this shot would be cool if you just added little black bars here. It would be nicely framed though. Look at this. I didn't notice until like really late into the editing, but this shot is literally the same one from over here. Around 53 seconds. I accidentally masked this twice because I thought it was just a unique shot because I wanted a good shot of his forehead. I just accidentally used the same clip twice, but hopefully no one will notice. The thought process for this line, his forehead's so big, but it's empty, and I was like, well, that's also a big place in Dragon Ball that's empty, and it was like the hyperbolic chamber of time and space. What's it called? The hyperbolic chamber of something. It's a funny time chamber room where they just, a whole year is a day. You get it. It's big head. Mini big boy. Who would win in a fight? Tetsuo from Akira or Vegeta? And I mean foreheads. Whose forehead would just obliterate each other? Honestly, I want to know. I didn't watch GT. I had to look up Vegeta mustache, and I used PNGs instead of finding clips because I'm not goddamn downloading anime episodes just to find Vegeta mustache. So yeah, these two in particular are just PNGs. And then it was like, I remember the funny scene where the androids get arrested and they're just like, no. And like, it would be funny to call back to it, even though it's not not part of lyrics. There's a lot of stuff that I put in visually that don't pertain to much lyrics, aside from like, a loose connection to like stuff, you know, like being arrested, having a license, Piccolo driving license, Piccolo learns how to drive. There's also this weird reference I did like later on in the second Vegeta verse, which I don't think anyone has caught, like considering the demographic of these rap battles. It's like shonen stuff. There's this weird non-shonen anime reference that I did. I'll talk about it when we get to it, but I think it's hilarious. Here we are. This is my favorite shot of the entire battle because it's so weird. Like, if you notice, this background, that hat it's not from either My Hero or Dragon Ball. It's from Clannad. This is the Fuko hat. This had to be like a thing I did in my goddamn, when my mind went dumb during the editing process. So it was like birthday. Like the thought process must have been like birthday. What's in birthdays? People wear hats, little funny cone hats on birthdays. Who wears a funny cone hat? Fuko. And then I just put Fuko's hat on Bakugo. I love Fuko. She's so funny. I would totally go on a random tangent about Clannad and how it's not my favorite keyword. But this is not about Clannad. This is about Bakugo versus Vegeta rap battle. I just hope someone just notices, like someone else other than me just notices this is a Clannad reference. I think it's really funny. This is a nice simple line, but the framing is just it's pretty good. I may think like the animation might just naturally look like that. I had to move his hand up to cover his nose because on the original shot he just put it on his chin because he was thinking, but I wanted him to like smell himself. It sounded weird, but so I just moved his hand up so it looks like he's covering his nose, and it looks really natural for some reason. It looks like he's covering his nose. Ironically, this is not a scene. I didn't want to watch Super because I didn't even finish the Boo Saga. So, plus I had about 7 days to edit. You know, I didn't even finish Dragon Ball when I started editing. The scene I had to search up scenes on YouTube for Vegeta Super Saiyan Blue, and I couldn't find any like good quality clips of him turning Super Saiyan Blue for the first time. So I had to use a clip that said Vegeta going beyond Super Saiyan Blue. So ironically, he should be saying hitting past Super Saiyan Blue or something. But I'm dumb. I remember when I did like parallel editing for like Kira vs. Zero. This is different though. Yeah, for some reason this shot took a while to do because you know Deku was originally in the left side, and he was green. And so when I first did this, I made him green, and I was like, why is Vegeta green? Why did I? It doesn't make sense for him to be green, so I had to change him to blue last minute. After I finished editing the intro and stuff, I had to fix up a few things, and then this was including him being green for some reason. It's kind of weird since you don't really get to see him being green because I have the original edit of him being green. Also, other weird things I had to do for the shot. If you look at it closely, you can see the weirdness of the shot because in the original frame he didn't have this black side covering the left side of his face. I had to draw that in myself. And also the zoomy lines, you can tell I drew those in as well. They're like about 4 frames of the speed line. I just wish I had more time to be a good look, more accurate. Look the same as Bakugo's because you can tell there's a difference because the lines are thicker. It has less blur in it. It's more kind of square in shape. I mean rectangular. Sometimes when I see certain scenes, I remember like stuff I was watching in the background while I was editing certain scenes. I remember when I was editing this thing, I was watching like some Nux Taku videos in the background. It's just a funny tidbit. Like they're long and they're analytical. It's good to put in the background. I enjoy having someone's voice to listen to while I'm going crazy over editing. And this scene here is supposed to be like when Frieza destroys the planet in Super. Because I wanted to end on an explosion, and I didn't want to end it on like a tiny baby explosion because Vegeta's like a planet-busting Super Saiyan or something. It's a good way to end off a battle. So that's me going for the entire video. This is almost an hour worth of like this, me talking and just stuttering. Except no one wants to listen to me talk to myself for about an hour, so I'm gonna cut this down. So it's like more like 20 minutes at max. Hopefully, I'll cut out a bunch of stuff. I'll even cut this out. Haha, take that, me.